I think when George Lucas did his 1997 special editions of the Pro Pinball Trilogy, he really went a step too far with the special effects. The playfields were enjoyable enough without all the additional dewbacks. You don't even get that many points for hitting them. And don't get me started on who launched their ball first. The Pro Pinball series was a collection of 4 games released between 1996 and 2000, each featuring a single fictional pinball table. While that may come across as a little stingy in this day and age, the difference between Pro Pinball and every other pinball video game that preceded it was a stunning recreation of the look and feel of a real pinball table. The physics are incredible. The ball moves around the table with a wonderfully smooth momentum that naturally reacts to the shape of the tables. It also has a believable sense of weight that most pinball games prior to it seemed to ignore in favour of having the ball fire around the table at a ridiculous speed, clattering off every obstacle as fast as possible like it was made of rubber. It became almost impossible to read the movement of the ball in these earlier video pinball games, and with added screen scrolling this could become a real headache. The ball in the Pro Pinball games is also noticeably larger than most video pinball titles, once again being more accurate to a real pinball table. The Pro Pinball series also has a wonderful suite of customization options for each table that includes 3 fixed angles at different heights to view the table at, a dot matrix display that you can add transparency to and even alter the colour and position of, as well as multiple controller configurations and sliders for the in-game audio. You can really tweak this to play exactly the way you want to play, with all the various dip switch options and levels of difficulty. In 2001, 3 of the Pro Pinball tables would make their way to the Dreamcast exclusively in Europe in the form of Pro Pinball Trilogy. The tables featured are the 3 latest tables in the series, with 1996's The Web being the only table in the series not available to play here. It's the obvious table to drop as well, as it has visually dated the worst, even if it still plays pretty well. So we get the sci-fi themed time-travelling adventure of Time Shock, the American cabbie themed Big Race USA, and the steampunk and fantasy themed Fantastic Journey. Each table has been pre-rendered with amazing detail and animation, and thanks to the fixed angle view on the tables, there is no need for screen scrolling, which has always been my preferred way to play video pinball. You never lose track of where the ball is in relation to the flippers, and you can play with some level of strategy instead of just wildly mashing the flippers and hoping for the best. While the tables do feature a few effects that would be impossible on a real table, their features and size generally feel pretty arcade accurate as far as pinball sims go. There's plenty to do on each table without the playfield becoming too cluttered, which makes the action easy to read visually. Honestly, if you have any love for video pinball, then this collection is an easy recommendation for Dreamcast owners. It looks, sounds and feels amazing to play, and also features vibration functionality which is bizarrely missing from 2005's Ultimate Pro Pinball on PS2. It's a simple addition that adds a bit of force feedback into the mix, which also helps amp up the feeling of realism that the Pro Pinball games strive for. Yes, there isn't much to do outside of playing 3 pinball tables and setting high scores, but thanks to the quality of the tables and the simulation, I feel like this is more than enough to keep me engaged. I think more modern collections of pinball tables do take the edge off this release somewhat, so you really have to look back on the Pro Pinball Trilogy in the context of 2001, but even then the quality of these tables and their controls still really shines through. It might not be an extensive collection of tables, but what is here is incredibly well built and still very playable.
Is not as ridiculous as I am. Engaging pursuit. Police chase frenzy.